Hello guys, so welcome to the next video. In this video I'm going to give you something very important. We are going to use how to validate our ID. So in Microsoft Access we can validate our ID by combining the numeric and the alphabet together. So how to do that? We can combine letter and what? And number together to form our ID in Microsoft Access. So how to do this? We are going to use this table, the table that we call students. So this table is what we are going to use to do the validation. So let's get first of all try something by typing an ID. Let's type the student ID and see if the student ID can take numeric. So here the student ID is 45. So this 45, let's ask ourselves, can we add a letter to this 45? If not, we are going to try it. Yes, we can add a letter to this number because of what we are having, what 45 HJ. So those are the combination of the number and the letter, but it's not something that is validated because anybody can add anything that they want. So how to validate your password to be using something is fixed. So should be fixed mean that you start with something and ending with the number, or starting with the number and ending with the letters. So how to validate our ID in the table. So be with me now and you are going to see how to do that. So to do that, we have to go down to the view and take design view. So if we take the design view, we are going to get down how to design our table. So here is the design view that we are having. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to validate your password by combining letters and number together, make sure that your data type is in short text. You may see some version Microsoft Office, some version you may see it will be text. It doesn't matter, it's the same thing. So in this case we're having short text. So see the data type first of all before validating your student ID. So if you want to validate your student ID, you have to click on the student ID. You have to click on the student ID, and the primary key should be also placed on your student ID. That is the most important thing because it's the key. The key is what is going to stand for the uniqueness. That means one or two people cannot have the same ID. I repeat, click on the key to give the key to the ID. The key stands for the uniqueness. That means two people cannot get the same ID. So let's click on the student ID and we validate the student ID. So I want to validate my student ID by doing what? By taking the word validation rule. So in the validation rule is where we are going to validate our ID. So once you validate your ID, you are also going to add a validation test at the down. So how to do that is just to use something we called a question mark. So the question mark here stands for something very important. So let me give you the form that we are going to use, guys. So here, guys, this is what we are going to do. So if you want maybe to combine a letter with a number to give your validation rule, what to do is to type this, what you are seeing on your screen, maybe in the validation rule. So if you do that, you are going to set a validation combination with the numbers. So why are you guys seeing the question mark here? The question mark is here to help you guys to understand that the question mark gave you number. So this is the combination of the name that you are seeing, Dramu, will be combined with the question mark that is stand for numbers. But do not forget to add the double quote, the starting and the end. So if you add your double quote, you are going to see something we call like. So if the system like your quote, it means that you can validate your quote. So be here and type this in the validation rule. Now you guys are seeing that we are having like here, and at the same time the codes are here. So here is the codes. Now we have to explain these codes in tests. We have to explain these codes, how to explain this code to speak with somebody, because this code is at the back of your table. Nobody is going to see this code. So to explain this code to somebody is to type the validation test. So this validation text is what the person is going to read to validate their ID. So the validation test is what to do to explain to the person. So this code we are having down here, we want to explain to that person. So how to do it? Be with me here now. So guys, now we can see that the code has been explained here to us. It's very easy. So what are they telling you? Please, each student ID should start with Dramu. So here we are saying that the Dramu is the starting of their ID. Followed by what? Followed by 3 numbers. We are seeing 3 quotation. So the 3 quotation marks stand, the 3 question marks stand for the number. So those 3 question marks are standing for the number. That is the reason why in the codes, in the explanation, it was followed by 3 numbers. Thanks. So that is the validation test that we are going to type in the validation area. So if we type that validation test, that is going to be displaying on your windows. So that is what the person is going to be reading to validate your password. So be with me. We are going to see also how to add this in the validation test. Now here we are having the validation test inside the validation test area. So now what to do is to go up and click on the view. So if you click on the view, you are going to see that the table will be what? Validated with the ID. So now here we are. Have you seen the message has been displayed on the screen? That is the Windows message they are telling you. That is the validation message they are telling you. So that message, you are the one who type it. So here we are having what? 56. And we want to use that as ID. No, because it's having what? Validated. And here we are having what? Please, each student ID should start with Dramu followed by 3 numbers. Thanks. So that message is what we type in the validation test. So we are going to use this message to correct the mistake that we are having, guys. Now guys, you can see that I have added some value inside the table. So here are the ID, how to validate your ID. So all the ID will be starting with Dramu 001, Dramu 002. So those are the ID that we validated inside the validation. So guys, thank you so much. I love you guys. If you like this video, please share with friends and subscribe to my YouTube account. George Dramu is where you can get all my videos. Thank you guys. I love you.